Hey, John here with the Trucking with John D channel. So in this video, I want to talk about money or being poor. And I know I first said I want to talk about money and being poor, but really I want to talk about being poor in general, and not just when it comes to money. Whether that's poor thinking, being in poor health, eating poor quality foods, hanging around poor people, being poor financially, having poor credit. Just attach that word poor to anything, and that will cover the what I'm trying to talk about in this video. And the basis, what I mean by being poor, or what I want to encompass about the poorness, is that being poor is expensive. And I talked about this in a different channel I have, where I talked about, like I said, being poor is expensive. Now, right offhand, you might say, well, that's a ridiculous thing. How can being poor be expensive when you don't have money to buy expensive things? Well, being poor does cost you more money. For example, if you have poor credit, chances are you can't get the things that will improve your quality of life, that will allow you to, you can't get a loan to use towards if you want to start a business. You can't get a loan towards if you want to get some training to increase your income. If you can't get a loan, you can't get a loan that will potentially bring more value into your life. If you can't bring in more value, then if you can't buy more value, the chances are you'll stay in this poor situation. And so, and if you have poor credit, if you can get a loan or if you can get financing, what usually happens? You end up paying more for the money. If you have good or excellent credit, what happens? You pay less for the money. So right there, it shows that being poor is expensive. If you want to get a $10,000 loan and you got excellent credit, chances are you might be able to get a interest rate around 10% or less. If you have poor credit, if you can get the loan at all, if they were to give you this $10,000 loan, chances are your interest rate will be 18%, 20%, 35% plus. So you end up paying, way more for the money compared to somebody with excellent credit. So in turn, being poor is expensive. If you have poor health, or you eat poor quality foods, you say, well, how can that cost me more money? How can that be expensive when usually poor quality foods are cheap? Well, when you eat poor quality foods, that usually leads to having poor health. When you have poor health, your quality of life goes down, increases your medical bills, and so in turn, being poor is expensive. If you can afford high quality foods and afford to have the time to stay in shape, chances are you'll spend less time in the hospital or taking prescription medication. And that money that you're saving by not having to spend money on health care or pay more for health insurance or life insurance, you could use towards making more money. So not being poor is cheap. So I guess I should give one more example. Having a poor work history or a poor mindset. Let's not do the work history. Having a poor mindset. How can having a poor mindset be expensive? One, a person with a poor mindset or poor thinking habits tend to have poor thinking habits tend to have poor habits. And these habits could be things like heavy alcohol consumption, drug use, smoking, heavy coffee drinking, hanging around other poor people, not being inspired to achieve more, not being inspired to always dream big, to always have goals, always strive to achieve more. So we end up having these poor thinking habits where you're always in this rut. You always feel like you're depressed. You feel like the world is out to get you. You feel like just because of your social economic status, your race, your sex, gender, how tall you are, how short you are, what kind of clothes you wear, what color your hair is, you always think those things are working against you. So in turn, those things do end up working against you because of your poor thinking habits. And so it ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy where your poor thinking is creating more poor in your life, which keeps you away from the good life. And so these poor thinking habits ends up costing you more money because those poor thinking habits leads to you having poor credit, working a job that you hate, working a job where you're not making good money, end up hanging around people who are also poor, who also have a poor mindset, and who also have no goals or dreams to achieve more and do better. So those are just 3 examples of how being poor is expensive. And I'm pretty sure you can think of many more. And I'm pretty sure if you sit back and really thought about it, you can see that it's better to be rich than poor. Not that being poor people are bad people. It's just that it's important to strive to do better, strive to be better, and strive to achieve more. And I hope this video you can share with someone that will help them break out of that. Because once you realize that being poor is costing me more money, then I will hope that would inspire, if not you, then someone else to start changing their ways, go up, set upon changing habits, and reinforcing new habits, more thinking patterns. And one way you can do that is listening to personal development audios. And these are people like Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Damon John does some motivation speaking, Grant Cardone. Those are just a few of the people that come to mind. And I listen to that kind of stuff every day for at least 30 minutes a day, sometimes longer. And this is what I encourage you to do, is start listening to personal development. This stuff will really get you to thinking right, get you to striving to achieve more, striving to do better. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to pin a link, and I'm gonna put a link in the pinned comments, and this is where you can get access. It's access to Bob Proctor has a program called 6 Minutes to Success. And it's basically 6 minutes a day of inspiration, mindset development, and stuff like that. And go ahead and click the link in the comment section and enter your email address, and you'll get emailed a video every day where he talks about this. So that's it for this video. Hope you got some value out of it. Subscribe to the Trucking with John D channel, and I'm gonna try to start putting up more content. I know I've been out of the loop for a while because I've been busy, really busy, and been focused more on growing and building my business than doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. So that's it for this video. I'll talk to you again soon.